What if various sources report that humans with brain chips can now control computers with thought alone? What if some theologians suggest this represents the merger of flesh and machine warned about in ancient texts? And what if certain researchers claim we're witnessing the birth of what they call technological prophets, who receive visions through silicon rather than spirit? Today, the Sacred Archive explores what various analysts describe as humanity's most controversial transformation. In 2024, various news outlets reported that Neuralink successfully implanted brain chips in human patients. By 2025, according to various sources, these trials have expanded, with patients allegedly demonstrating abilities that some observers call miraculous, while others call concerning. Today, we examine what various theologians, ethicists, and researchers claim about the spiritual implications of humans merging with machines. Let's begin with what various medical sources report about the current trials. Patients with paralysis have allegedly gained ability to control computers through thought. Some reports describe typing without keyboards, moving cursors without mice, even playing video games through pure mental intention. Various medical professionals celebrate these as breakthrough treatments for disability. But some theologians raise deeper questions about what this means for human nature itself. The book of Genesis states that God created humans in His image, the imago Dei that various theologians consider fundamental to human dignity. This divine image, according to various Christian scholars, involves consciousness, creativity, and communion with God. Some researchers ask whether adding artificial components to the brain alters this divine image. Various ethicists debate whether enhanced humans remain fully human in the theological sense. Consider what various transhumanist philosophers openly proclaim. They allegedly see brain-computer interfaces as the next step in human evolution. Some speak of achieving God-like intelligence through technological merger. Various futurists predict humans will upload consciousness, achieve immortality, and transcend biological limitations. Some theologians note these goals echo the serpent's promise in Eden: "You shall be as gods." The concept of prophecy itself deserves examination through this lens. Biblical prophets, according to various scholars, received divine visions through spiritual connection. They heard God's voice, saw future events, and communicated transcendent truths. Some researchers now ask, what happens when humans receive visions through digital interfaces? Various sources report trial participants describing experiences that sound remarkably like prophetic encounters, but mediated through technology rather than prayer. Let's explore what various neuroscientists acknowledge about consciousness. Despite decades of research, the nature of human consciousness remains what some call the hard problem of science. Various researchers cannot explain how physical brain activity produces subjective experience. Some theologians argue this mystery points to the soul, something beyond mere neural computation. The question various ethicists raise: does adding artificial components affect this mysterious consciousness? The reported experiences of early Neuralink patients interest various observers. Some allegedly describe feeling expanded or connected in new ways. Various accounts mention accessing information instantly, as if knowledge appears in their minds. Some researchers compare these descriptions to mystical experiences reported by religious practitioners. Various theologians worry about counterfeit spiritual experiences, mediated through technology rather than genuine divine encounter. 2 Corinthians 11:14 warns that Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. Various biblical scholars have long taught that deception often comes disguised as enlightenment. Some researchers suggest brain-computer interfaces could enable unprecedented deception, false visions, artificial prophecies, technologically induced spiritual experiences that lead people away from genuine faith. Various theologians emphasize discernment becomes crucial as technology blurs lines between natural and artificial experience. The healing aspect of these technologies creates ethical complexity. Jesus healed the paralyzed, restored sight, and performed medical miracles. Various Christian ethicists generally support medical technology that restores normal function, but some researchers distinguish between restoration and enhancement. Helping paralyzed patients move again seems clearly good, but various theologians worry about the slippery slope from medical treatment to transhuman augmentation. Let's examine what various disability advocates contribute to this discussion. Many celebrate technologies that increase accessibility and independence. Some argue that opposing helpful technology due to theological concerns ignores real suffering. Various voices emphasize that paralyzed individuals deserve access to treatments regardless of philosophical debates. But some disabled Christians express their own concerns about pressure to be fixed through increasingly invasive technologies. The commercialization trajectory concerns various observers. Currently, according to various sources, trials focus on medical applications, but some analysts predict consumer versions will follow: brain chips for enhanced memory, faster processing, direct internet access. Various researchers note that what begins as medical treatment often becomes consumer product. Some theologians worry about a future where brain chips become as common as smartphones. Consider what various privacy experts warn about brain-computer interfaces. Thoughts, the last truly private domain, could become accessible to corporations and governments. Some researchers describe scenarios where brain data gets hacked, thoughts get monitored, or mental processes get manipulated. Various theologians note that confession and private prayer assume mental. The Book of Revelation's Mark of the Beast inevitably enters various discussions about brain chips. While some researchers caution against simplistic connections, others note striking parallels. The mark allegedly involves the forehead, enables buying and selling, and represents allegiance to a system opposed to God. Various interpretations exist about whether brain chips could fulfill or enable this prophecy. Some theologians emphasize the mark involves conscious choice and worship, not just technology. Let's explore what various tech workers from these companies privately share. Some reportedly express excitement about humanity's future. Others allegedly voice concerns about the implications. Various sources describe internal debates about ethics, safety, and long-term consequences. Some insiders reportedly worry about the rush to market and pressure to achieve results. Various whistleblowers have raised concerns about testing protocols and informed consent. The question of reversibility troubles various medical ethicists. Can brain chips be safely removed if problems arise? Some sources report concerns about scar tissue, dependency, and irreversible changes. Various researchers compare this to other medical interventions that permanently alter the body. But some theologians argue the brain holds special significance as the seat of consciousness, personality, and spiritual connection. Dreams and visions hold special significance in Scripture. Joseph interpreted dreams. Daniel received visions. John saw revelation. Various biblical scholars note these experiences came through prayer and divine appointment. Some researchers ask what happens when technology enables artificial dreams or digital visions. Could brain chips create counterfeit prophecy that seems genuine but lacks divine origin? Let's examine what various mental health professionals observe about technology's current impact. Social media already allegedly affects mood, attention, and self-perception. Some researchers document increases in anxiety, depression, and dissociation linked to digital immersion. Various therapists worry brain chips could exponentially amplify these effects. Direct neural interfaces might make digital addiction physically inescapable. The enhancement versus therapy distinction that various bioethicists emphasize deserves attention. Glasses correct vision to normal. They don't grant superhuman sight. Some argue brain chips for paralysis simply restore normal function. But various researchers note the technology inherently enables enhancement beyond normal human capability. The line between therapy and augmentation blurs with neural interfaces. Consider what various theologians say about the resurrection body. Christian doctrine teaches believers will receive glorified bodies, perfected but still recognizably human. Some scholars ask whether humans with artificial components can be resurrected. Various interpretations exist about whether the soul requires purely biological substrate. These aren't merely academic questions, as brain-computer integration advances. The speed of development concerns various observers. From first implant to widespread adoption might take just years, not decades. Some researchers worry humanity lacks time for adequate ethical reflection. Various theologians note that moral frameworks develop slowly, while technology advances exponentially. The wisdom to guide these technologies lags behind the ability to create them. Let's explore what various global perspectives contribute. Different cultures and religions view human enhancement differently. Some Eastern philosophies embrace transformation more readily. Various indigenous traditions emphasize maintaining natural human essence. Some Islamic scholars debate whether brain chips violate human dignity. The global conversation reveals diverse concerns about humanity's technological future. The informed consent challenge that various medical ethicists raise seems particularly acute. Can patients truly consent to procedures with unknown long-term consequences? Some researchers note that brain changes might alter the very capacity for future consent. Various legal scholars debate liability when enhanced humans make decisions their pre-enhancement selves might not have made. Young people's enthusiasm for brain chips concerns various educators. Surveys allegedly show high acceptance among digital natives. Some see enhancement as inevitable and desirable. Various youth pastors report struggling to explain theological concerns to generations raised on technological optimism. The gap between theological wisdom and technological enthusiasm widens. Let's examine what various historians note about previous enhancement technologies. Every generation faced innovations that seemed to threaten human nature. Writing, printing, computers. Some argue brain chips are just another tool, but various scholars suggest direct neural interface represents a qualitative leap, not just quantitative progress. The difference between using tools and becoming merged with them seems theologically significant. The military applications that various defense analysts discuss raise additional concerns. Enhanced soldiers with faster reflexes, direct drone control, or networked consciousness could transform warfare. Some researchers worry about arms races in human enhancement. Various theologians note biblical warning. Consider what various futurists predict about social stratification. Will enhanced humans form a separate class from the unenhanced? Some researchers describe scenarios of technological apartheid. Various theologians worry about violation of human equality. all made in God's image, regardless of augmentation. The potential for new forms of discrimination based on enhancement status troubles various ethicists. The question of identity continuity that various philosophers raise proves challenging. If someone's personality changes after brain chip implantation, are they the same person? Some researchers document personality changes in early trials. Various theologians ask about moral responsibility and spiritual identity when technology alters consciousness. The ship of Theseus paradox takes on new urgency with neural modification. Let's explore what various alternative voices suggest about enhancement paths. Some propose biological rather than technological enhancement through genetics or chemistry. Others advocate for external augmentation that doesn't breach the body's boundary. Various researchers explore quantum consciousness theories that might enable enhancement without implants. The diversity of approaches suggests brain chips aren't inevitable despite current momentum. The regulatory landscape that various legal experts describe remains underdeveloped. Agencies struggle to oversee rapidly advancing neurotechnology. Some researchers worry about regulatory capture by industry interests. Various advocates push for stronger oversight and ethical guidelines. But technology often outpaces regulation, creating dangerous gaps in protection. As we conclude this exploration, various voices emphasize both promise and peril. Brain-computer interfaces offer genuine hope for medical conditions, but they also raise fundamental questions about human nature, spiritual identity, and our relationship with technology. Various theologians stress the need for wisdom, discernment, and grounding in eternal truths as humanity faces these choices. The question isn't whether this technology will advance. Various sources confirm it will. Rather, the challenge involves maintaining human dignity, spiritual connection, and divine image while navigating technological transformation. Various scholars emphasize that enhancement of the body means nothing without cultivation of the soul. What remains clear from various perspectives: humanity stands at a threshold. The choices made about brain-computer interfaces will shape not just individual lives, but human nature itself. Various believers emphasize that regardless of technological change, fundamental spiritual truths endure. The call to love God and neighbor transcends any enhancement technology might offer. If this analysis of humanity's future sparked questions, subscribe to the Sacred Archive for more explorations of technology and theology. Share with others grappling with these profound changes. Comment your perspective below. The Sacred Archive, where ancient wisdom meets tomorrow's challenges. Subscribe now.